What is up, everyone, and welcome back to the channel. And today we're doing kind of a really wonky, silly mod. Now, this isn't really something that I would say is like dumb to do, but I feel like when you have a turbo car, it's kind of the rite of passage that you do this. And I've been on the fence about this stuff for years. I mean, I've had this car for now over 3 years. It's got a bigger turbo on it. I've done a lot of upgrades to this car. This is one thing that I've always wanted to do, but I've been afraid to do it. And yeah, I got this little box over here from GFB, otherwise known as Go Fast Bits. And if you're familiar here with this company, you probably know where this is going. I have their brand new vent atmosphere blow-off valve. This is a completely new design. They just released this a little bit ago. The only video I've seen with this part on it so far is with Mighty Car Mods and a Mark 8 GTI. So a little bit different platform with this one, and different because it's not running a factory turbo. For those who are new to my channel, this is my 2017 GTI S with the Mamba GTX 3071R. It's effectively on par with the Vortex XL and stuff of that nature, for those who are more familiar with EQT's turbos. But yeah, I got this because I wanted to try it out. You know, I mean, yeah, it's a very expensive thing to just want to try out. But, you know, I figured, worst comes to worst, I take it off, put the OEM diverter valve back on. You know, there's been a lot of complaints about their DV Plus models having overboost issues or having boost leaks. And so obviously that is something that I am worried about going into this, and that's why I waited this long to do this. But, you know, I figured it's worth a shot. If I have any issues, it's 3 screws, and thankfully my blaze intake, this might be one of the few things that doesn't take up, like, block too much. If you've been watching the channel for a decent bit of time, you might remember this is not the first time I've done a diverter valve change. Me and my friend Michael a couple years ago did one after my factory diverter valve kind of just sprung itself apart when we were doing the turbo install. I mean, it literally blew into pieces. We re-put it back together and put it in the car, and as part of the chasing of the high wastegate duty cycle that we were doing with this car during the tuning days, which we've now figured out completely was related to the PCV, the intake, and just the diameter of my exhaust. I think that is just going to be something, until I change the downpipe out, I'm going to be stuck with. At least the downpipe that I'm going to be stuck with. So yeah, so we figured that part out. It's now what the tuner would deem good. Obviously, I wouldn't be driving it around if it wasn't. But yeah, this should be a pretty simple install. It's so cold outside, which is why I have the door closed. I usually have the garage door open whenever I'm working on this car, but it's just way too cold. We got snow this morning and everything. The feels like temp's been in single digits. But yeah, the diverter valve on this car is right here on the turbo. You might be able to see it a little bit here. There's the PCV hose, and there's a little wire connector down there. I'm trying to get as close as I can get comfortably here, but it's a super simple job. It's just, you know, kind of annoying being in kind of a weird spot. Obviously, this was an RS3, this would be way easier, but unfortunately, I have 2 motion, not quattro, and I'm missing a cylinder for that one. So anyway, I'm gonna get started on this. This shouldn't be a horribly long process, but I'm gonna try to knock this out relatively quickly. So I'm on the phone with Michael, so I'm trying not to talk to him. We got it muted, but you guys know I don't really work on my own stuff terribly often. I'm not gonna lie, it's not my forte. Ran into a couple issues trying to get the electrical connector off. It didn't come off quite as easily. They literally, you know, all the tutorials I watched and doing this were like, pull the tab and it should come right up. Pull the tab and the tab snapped. So luckily, it's just that little tab on the end of it, so it should stay plugged in on its own anyway. But I had a hard time getting this off, and now I'm trying to figure out how to cut this zip tie that's holding this vacuum line in so I can remove it and get full access, because this PCV hose is being a nightmare. But I guess while I'm doing this, I am gonna throw on this little sticker. So I got a GFB sticker. I'm gonna go ahead and put on my little detail cart. Probably gonna put it up on the top one with the NGK and the tail of the dragon sticker. Maybe a little bit harder on that, but you get the idea. We'll see. I'll show you what it looks like. Just put it there very haphazardly. But I'm gonna try to work on this a little bit more. I know this isn't like a super in-depth video, but I'm not trying for it to be. So anyway, I'm gonna try to continue on, and Kason should be here in a couple hours to help me finish this up if I haven't finished it before then. All right, after saying the F-bomb a couple times, which Michael got to hear in full audio quality, Michael's here in spirit. If you want to say anything, Michael. And there we go. I am now banned on YouTube in 6 countries. But anyway, Michael aside, we've got the OEM diverter valve off, and but now we get to play around with the GFB. So it comes with 3 new screws, which I'm very thankful for. And now I actually get to take this thing out of the packaging because I haven't yet. So you guys are gonna see me in all of my very large glory with no hat on because I took it off. Here we are. So this is the GFB unit. So now I gotta figure out. It came with a wiring harness, and I'm like confused on where it plugs in at. I don't know. Maybe this doesn't apply to it. Oh, it definitely does. But the quality itself looks really good. I'm gonna keep the trumpet on because that gives more of a high-pitched whistle, which is what I was going for. I was telling Michael my favorite blow-off valve is the Greddy Type S, and so I adjusted the spring load to be a little bit softer. It's not quite the softest setting, I don't think, but it is pretty soft. To try to mimic that sound, as it does lengthen the duration of the blow-off, is what I read on their instructions. So I'm gonna go ahead and plug in this kind of a, I guess some sort of adapter harness, and now it should be able to plug into the car. But now I gotta figure out how I'm gonna mount this, because it was a pain in the butt to get this thing out of the car. So now I gotta figure out how I'm gonna get it back in the car, and if it'll clear my intake actually. That's another thing I gotta think about. So I may have to reposition it upwards. So it might sit in the car kind of like this. Because, well, I don't know. Well, it'll kind of sit like this. So yeah, the trumpet will be facing up. So it'll be echoing off my hood pretty much, because I think that's the only way this thing's gonna fit with the blaze intake on the car. But yeah, I'm gonna try to get this on the car before Kason gets here. I'm gonna go ahead and get this mounted on the car, and yeah, we'll see how it sounds, and you know, do some revs or something. All right, Kason has arrived to help me wrap this up and button this up because my fingers are just a little bit too big to fish that blaze intake down into place. So got it bolted up. As you guys can see, that trumpet's sticking up. I'll try to see, maybe it'll zoom in far, maybe not. You can kind of see it. Kason's left hand was just on top of it. So yeah, I got the plug situated. And so yeah, all we gotta do is just get this intake buttoned up, and we'll be ready to, you know, go take her out for a spin and see how this thing sounds. Like I said, I put it on the softer spring adjustment because I wanted more of a Greddy Type S kind of sound. And I think with the trumpet on and having the spring turned down to a softer setting, should be able to do that. I mean, it sounds like it's gonna like purge pretty low in the boost threshold if I let off the gas. But I think we'll start there and we'll stiffen it up as we go. So go follow Kason's YouTube channel. Huge thanks for him to come here after work and help me button this up and talk Pokemon with me and stuff, because that's been our thing lately. And we're gonna go test this out and see what she can do. All right, Kason and I are wrapping things up here. Got the connector plugged in as good as it'll go, since you know I broke the little tab, which is what caused this little bruise-like thing on my thumb. So that might be mess up that thumbnail for a little bit. But yeah, we try to get the wire situated where it's not gonna be too close to the turbo. It definitely is weird with that adapter harness just being so long, but there she is, bolted in and ready to go. So I think there's only one thing left to do now. That is the fun part.
Turn it on, let's hear what we left undone.
So I'm gonna turn my Osmo mic off, and well, you guys can actually hear it. I'm nervous, dude, I don't know why. I feel like, you know, we've done everything we're supposed to do. Everything's hooked up.
Seems like it.
So. I mean, if it was unhooked anywhere, we would hear it. It was that, or we would hear it like chugging almost, because it was like that.
Right, or if it was like overboost. Well, we won't know about overboost until we're driving. So, I guess we're gonna go take her for a spin and do some audio from the inside of the car while we drive.
There you go. That's what you wanted?
Well, it's not quite ready type S-ish.
Well, yeah, but it's not a Gretty Type S.
Yeah. Definitely sounds good though.
Get it just a little higher. That sounds good.
I kind of like it.
Yeah. I'm gonna roll this up a little, actually. Let you do it one more time while I've got it like.
I'm not like I'm obviously the car's cold, so I'm not.
Yeah. Don't beat on it. But.
Full throttle or nothing. I was about to hit you too. I was about to get you.
That's really good, actually.
My concern is it going to overboost? Because a lot of the DV Plus customers complain of overboost codes.
What is this? A DV Plus? Or
No, this is their new VTA. It's full vent atmosphere.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It's a conventional blow-off valve, but about as good as you can get with these cars.
This is by
GFB.
GFB.
The only thing is I can't go full throttle. It's 30 degrees out. I'm not going to get any traction if I try, which is part of the reason why I've been doing kind of big toe pulls. I mean, quite frankly, we're not going to get traction in this weather. It's too cold. And
roll your window up when
Roll my window
you do
up?
this one. Yeah, because I'm sure we'll hear it plenty fine with your window up. Less air noise, too.
yeah, less wind.
Yeah.
Get real sketched out if we're using their blinker. So loud.
Yeah, it's so much louder. Well,
I mean, it's echoing off the hood because it's aimed at the hood. So.
Yeah.
I am a child.
That's awesome. Wish I could do something like that for my car.
Like, you can. It's just
Not.
well. It's not
Not a good
recommended for
idea.
these either. I'm literally playing with fire doing this, but I figured I'd give it a shot. If I hate it, I'll put the stock one back in. It was a pain to do, but it's not impossible to do. But I'm gonna go feed Kaysen.
Okay.
Because I've already
Kaysen's feeding himself.
Well, yeah, but you know, I drove him here to get food, and we'll go ahead and wrap this one up here. So go follow Kaysen. I want to thank him big time for coming out here and helping me button this up after working all day. So go follow his YouTube channel, Ignite Media, and his Instagrams, Ignite Media and Lucid Mark 6. Obviously, we've still got plenty of videos to do with him in the future. And yeah, follow me, subscribe to this channel, and I will see you guys later. Have an awesome day.